that motivation to go to school and do well was just gone.
That was my last day, but I didn't know that it was my last day.
Normal just got taken away.
I like to pretend like it didn't happen.
Feeling hopeless and sort of disconnected.
It takes more of a toll on your mental health than you realize.
I lost people during the pandemic and I just wanted to give up at one point.
I felt really powerless and I kind of felt like I was screaming into a void.
I feel like I don't know what's gonna happen next.
Crazy.
Chaotic.
Remarkable.
Lonely.
Eye-opening.
Confusing.
Empowering.
Overwhelming.
Change.
Reality.
Uncertain.
Unimaginable.
My senior year of high school, I did way too much for myself, and my pride refused to let me step down. I did dance team at my school, I did dance outside of school, I was in student council, I also worked, so it was too much on my plate when I didn't have a single day to myself. And I eventually burned myself out to the point where I was happy the pandemic happened, because I was like, I don't have to do this stuff anymore. I was just expecting 2 weeks off, and then it became a month, and then the rest of the year.
I felt really depressed, I'm not gonna lie. My cousin, when she passed away, I was at hospice. I would stay the nights with her by myself. With COVID and everything going on, I was able to kind of comprehend it, but I just didn't want to accept it.
If I feel angry or upset, I usually portray my horror.
They're usually dark paintings. I just needed the hugs and support, but I really couldn't get it because everything going on, you can't hug people, you can't do this. So I felt really isolated.
I'm a Christian, specifically a Lutheran. I'm a PK, some might say, pastor's kid. I kind of grew up at the church. I love the church so much. It's where I made all my friends. It's where I've learned to love myself. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that punish you in the church for just being a normal person. Because you're just taught that's bad. And you can't think that, and you can't do that. I met my boyfriend at church.
Right when we started dating, it was right when COVID was coming around, and we were all scared and we didn't know what to do. So we were thinking oh, should we hang out? Should we quarantine? You know what? As long as we're not seeing anyone else, we can just be together.
We made our own little bubble. It was the best bubble ever.
In the beginning of lockdown, I was very creative because I had lots of time on my hands because I had no school. I like baking and I have a hard time coming up with things to bake. So it'd be fun just to bake around the world. We went to Paris and ate croissants. We went to Italy and we made pasta from scratch. And then we went to Asia and we made pot stickers from scratch. Yeah, and then school happened and I had to get out of the bubble and I had to be in the real world.
I had it all mapped out. Senior year was gonna be perfect. First clarinet, first soprano, leading the play. This was gonna be the year. And then this.
It's a very small town. There's not a lot that goes on here, only a couple of restaurants, a few stores. I only have one other friend who is African American, so it would be nice to meet some girls that I can relate to. I've never had the same hair type or skin color as any of my friends, so growing up next to them, I felt very out of place in all the pictures, all the photographs. I just always felt I'm very different here. School has been such a joke this year. None of my teachers care. I be turning stuff in and they don't even grade it. I hit a real bad slump a few days ago and I was just unmotivated. I wasn't doing anything. I was just sleeping.
If this lasts past the summer, how are we going to continue? Everybody is worried.
I was supposed to go to Barry University, They wanted me to go in person, but I was like, Florida cases are seizing. I can't risk that. I have asthma. So I transferred to Community College of Rhode Island. I live in a city where they can never escape violence.
We had a lot of robberies and a lot of violence in my household. I was always like growing up like afraid of what's gonna happen next and like who's there watching me.
I plan on moving to a different state soon. I'm not sure where. I just plan on moving to like start a fresh life for myself, but I gotta take care of everything first before I do that. So
Your mental health?
yeah.
Every day we wake up, we see news about the coronavirus, and we see news about like, oh, these are the symptoms. Oh, you might have the symptoms.
There are some countries in Europe that are in lockdown again, which I think we should be in lockdown again because our cases are rising, even in my state. And my state's really small.
The hospital where I live is getting full, and the hospital around us are pretty full, and there's church members with COVID, and I had a family member with COVID, and it's scary how like close it is, you know, close to home. Because at the beginning it wasn't very close to home, but now it's like here. It's like in my little mountain community.
Researchers are actually warning that the pandemic may affect the mental health of children and teenagers more than adults during and after this period of isolation.
I've had a really hard time making friends at college just because of like the COVID stuff. And I'm like super sociable, but I'm not like the best at like making really close friends. I mean, I heard there were frat parties going on. Someone got COVID in the apartment next to me, and I don't know, it's just like freaks you out a little bit when you like hear it and you see it and you hear the numbers and you know what the quarantine dorms look horrible. So I did not want to be in those. I'm seeing all my like roommates going out with people, and I'm like, I'm not as much. And so it's just kind of like sitting in my room in my apartment at 10 o'clock on Friday night again. I want to have a normal college experience. I want to be able to do the things I wasn't able to do and like make friends.
My school, you could choose distance learning or the Zoom classes. And because I was working full time, I couldn't do the Zoom classes because I'm a nanny. There's a kid and his family, they're both really high risk, so they're working from home. So I just walk up there and take care of him from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock every day. I don't want to put their family at risk for any reason.
If I feel symptoms, if anything like that, I will not go to work. And I feel that way about going out anywhere.
Since I'd never worked beforehand, it was definitely a difficult transition. I had to quarantine a lot, and during that time period, I just felt so lonely. Having so much pressure from work and school at once, and also being taken away from everything that I liked doing, like singing, dancing, choir. It was just too much. I was just sort of floating through life, or trying my best to float through life right before the pandemic. And I was blocking off everything that had ever bothered me. And when it hit, I finally felt like I had time to process those emotions, and I did, all of them at once. And there was a lot. There's one sexual assault story that just, I still can't bring myself to tell it to most people. It was too much. I blacked out. And then I woke up, lots of bruises, lots of cuts. I'm absolutely not over it. I have had pretty much no help talking about it.
I want to paint, but at the same time, I'm so unmotivated. I want to write. I'm so unmotivated. I want to read. I'm unmotivated. I want to go places, but I'm so tired. I remember middle school. It was a very tough time.
My best friend, I've known her since 7th grade. Her family practically took me under their wing. Like her family's like my family.
She's my soulmate best friend. But she moved to Vegas in January 2020, and I just want to be with her.
Across America, the debate over whether it's safe to reopen schools now can't avoid what experts say is a mental health crisis. A rising number of suicides in some places, cries for help everywhere.
I have been having so many panic attacks recently. Just the thought of like going to do something freaks me out.
I've never been so stressed out in my entire life. I don't know how to feel either.
Like I don't know how to express it. That's why I'm kind of struggling to find the words.
I was actually hospitalized for depression and PTSD and anxiety.
You know, I was really excited to go to college. Make new friends, meet new people, learn some stuff. But it's just a disappointment. Just a freaking disappointment.
I like painting. Sometimes it changes my mood. Sometimes I kind of just do it just for like the fun of it because I enjoy it. I like bringing things to life. It gives me time to just sit down. It was just very like relaxing for me and helped my mental state.
I cannot express how the arts have helped me through this past year, especially singing more than anything else.
I would write song lyrics a lot because when I would write things down, sometimes it would be poetic and I'd be like, oh, this would sound great in a song. It helps me to sing it and be able to put my emotion into those words to get through the feelings, especially with the song that I had written in full. The reason it got completed was because I really needed to sing it, and I was like, this has to get done.
I love baking. It's really fun. You get sugar, and you get to just like do something and you don't have to think.
When you do not know what you're doing in life.
When you're anxious, you can't think about being anxious because you're baking. It's consuming. It consumes you fully. It's good. A little powdery.
It's just nice to like finish in the end and you know you did it well and you like get to eat it.
Well, update, I'm getting vaccinated today.
Now that I'm vaccinated, I'm a little like, oh, I can like live life again a little bit more. I still have to be safe, but I can live life. I think I've become a little bit more open to like new ideas and like new things and like less judgmental about some things than I used to be more judgmental about. My friends are kind of telling me things and I'm like, I didn't know that you ever went through that. And I didn't notice, and like, I want to pay more attention. What's important in life is relationships and like helping people. And those are the things that are going to make you happy.
This whole entire year just felt so stagnant. Being graduated now, I'm just so excited to experience this sense of freedom. I'm finally feeling like my life is moving forward. Not only me, but the whole world with the vaccine coming out, people getting the vaccine. We're nearing the end.
I'm getting a therapist right now, just because of everything that's been going on with violence, school, pandemic, and work. I feel like it's something that I should try.
Hey everyone, I am in Las Vegas. My best friend and I have been talking about living together since like middle school. So we're at Walmart. This is my bestie. Just said why not? I wanted to move somewhere, get a fresh start and something new.
I work at Amazon. I'm working there so I can transfer to Nevada in December. Now we're gonna live together, whether people like it or not. But her mom knows that she's moving out, my mom knows, so everybody knows that we're gonna be moving together soon. Right here is just memento mori, which is remember you must die, and I got that as a reminder that I have to live my life because one day it will end. However, I have my time now. I should make the most of it. And I do want to get something on the other side where it says memento vivi. It just basically means remember to live.